So with how fitting we start off with Wu-Tang and then we talk about, Shocky Foster and what's the brother's name?
Abraham Nova.
Okay.
Abraham.
Yeah.
In New York as well. So
New York
Cash,
as well.
set it off. I got a little overzealous.
Nah, you good. I love it. Oh, so since we talking that, let's talk that card. But let's go right into the soundbite. And y'all gonna know why. This is Shu Shu getting it in. Check this out.
And, we kind of started to set up different looks after a while.
Featherweight division is on notice. I'm sure we'll see Shu on March 2nd, Joe.
One last thing I want to say. Man. In the words of Mike Tyson, but I mean every single word here, too. I'm the best ever. There's nobody in the bosom of nobody like me. I'm telling you, listen, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's nobody like from their clue. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I'm with your heart. I'm with these children. Praise be to God.
There you go.
The baby eater and the
we
fighter.
Was in the building. Yo, we was in the building. Me and we popped out. You know what I'm saying? It was nice. It was, Friday night. I like the Saturday night cards better because, brothers got jobs and all that coming off from work. But we trekked it there. We got there. I just want to say this, man. Shu got the city. Me and A said that immediately. You know what I'm saying? This is like thinking my third time seeing him fight. And every time I see him, he's some more and more people turning up for him, man. We got a chance to run into Hitch after the Hitchens after the show. I heard Hitch say that, that the city fuck with him heavy and he thinks he's ready to, step up in competition. But he took care of business, man. I heard Tim Bradley say, which was interesting, that he has him as one of his double stand prospects. He fights Bernard Torres, this Filipino dude, tough competitor. Torres has never been stopped before. He's coming off a real nice win off of Jason Sanchez as well. And he sleeps the dude. Reminiscing a little bit of Pac-Man Marquez. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was somebody brought that point up, and I thought that was spot on. My thoughts. Listen, Torres is a southpaw. So I heard they brought a lot of southpaws in, obviously, for him to spar. And I thought that was interesting because Shu being younger, it's great when you get that southpaw work, right? Because we know Errol, he's notorious. He's only fought 2 southpaws in his career. And I think that hurt him. And I think Bomac and Bud knew that. Obviously, they knew that. So when they came in, they fought that whole fight southpaw. So it's good that he's getting that southpaw work early on. But I think Shu's the next guy up. I'll go to you first because you was in the building. What was your thoughts on Bruce Carrington, man?
Welcome to Shu York City, man. He's got the marketing. He's got the marketing locked down. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it being in there in the building. He got the presence. When he walked in, everybody was excited in the crowds. They screaming Brooklyn. So it was for it to be a Friday night, it was really like an event, like a little concert event with the fights happening. And that says a lot because to get people there on a Friday night for the co-main event in that regard, he had it packed out pretty good. Some of the other attributes I mentioned about him is just, you add things to your profile. He's a newly engaged or happily married man. He's got his father is a part of his entourage and family members surrounded by family, and he has it set up for success. Now let's talk about the skills, because there were some questions about the opponent. Some people they may or not have heard of him, but what I saw in terms of the in the ring action, I saw an opponent, like you said, the southpaw. He was trying to be aggressive and not allow Shu Shu to get any sort of timing or rhythm. Yes. And Shu Shu worked around that aspect, and after a while, he was finding ways to land, like when dude was trying to get a low jab to the body. Yeah. And Shu Shu would go over the top, or even the punch that ended the fight. Shu Shu ended on the left. Right. Was a right. Right hook. Upper hook. Uppercut and then a hook.
Yeah, uppercut then a hook. Yep.
So he had been kind of timing it, and he worked to get the knockout, and that's why I think Bradley and everybody else are high on him because you can see him thinking. You can see him outworking his opponent, shifting gears. You can see him moving his feet and paying attention. Very surreal. He mentally, he reminds me of a Bud Crawford. Just a serious guy. But yeah, man, I thought that he is he was well represented that night, and he's definitely poised to take and the division. Yeah, I'm gonna let Bump get in there, but the division is kind of poised for him to take over.
Yeah. I
agree. Bump, what you think about the performance?
Man, featherweight, I just see a clash between him and Nayo at Inoue in time because he's 7 knockouts, 11 fights. They're not going the distance, and they see this last fighter. What is I think we got 1 loss, Torres.
Yeah.
2 now, right? 2 was that a second?
He like 20-1 or 19.
No, 18-1. You're right. Yeah. 1 loss.
Okay. Yep. So this ain't no scrub he was in there. And if you see Torres scrap before, Torres is a scrappy dude. He gets busy, and Shu Shu made it look easy.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a contender. You ain't talking about a pretender. You're talking about a contender. Shu Shu made it look easy. Bruce Carrington is the next, and all the money points towards him and Inoue. Bruce, take your time. Rock the mic. As my man Busy B tell you, take your time, rock the mic, and maybe about 4 or 5 more fights. Go on and do it. Go on and do it. Because Inoue going to run from you once you get too good. Just looking at your style and how you hitting people, that's the fight that's on the horizon. Inoue versus Shu Shu. The monster versus Shu Shu. Carrington versus, that's the fight on the horizon.
Cooking.
Nah, I could see that in the long run, but let me just, you said take your time.
He's 8 in the WBO, remind you. So he's ranked.
Yeah, he's ranked. You know, wouldn't you like to see him, I don't know, 126 is, it's some guys in the UK he could take care of, or, I like to see him,
Robisi
Ramirez, and even the guy that just beat Robisi Ramirez for his title. You know what I'm saying? It's some things that he can do at 126, and I think that's a smart tactic because remember, Inoue's got to come up.
Yeah.
To 126. So the question to be, will the power carry, and I don't say this because I'm fearful. I just say that maybe I'm A-side slut talking because I feel like Bruce deserves to build on that momentum because number one, Inoue takes you all the way out to Japan on a Tuesday.
Yeah. I hate that shit.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Going up on a Tuesday like McConan. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like give him some fights, top rank, Saturday night, Friday, keep marketing him, Madison Square. I feel like the Inoue fight takes him, and again, it's a high risk.
That's the slow cooker.
Yeah, but it's like, let it marinate, as Bob would say famously. He's always asking for things to be marinated.
Yeah, you know why I don't want the chicken to cook too long? I don't want rotisserie with this one is because Shu Shu's body will probably outgrow the weight. I don't see, I see I see him apexing with his height. He's 5'8". I see him apexing with his height and his power at about 135.
I was going to say that. 135.
Got to be where he ends at, right? You can see him with those maybe welterweight. I doubt, but I'm thinking about 135 is where he'll max out. How long does he have at this weight? So 4 to 5 more fights. If he can get this done within 2 years. I think that's enough pub because the next 2 knockouts, because he's stretching good dudes now, will probably have New York eating out the palm of his hand, which means Madison Square Garden is on the table for that's 2 more fights. Yeah, and then boom, let's go on it. Monster, you keep talking about how scary you is, come out the closet. Say that after a fight, And I think all of New York City is like, we coming to see Shu Shu versus the Monster, and you got Top Rank, you got money in your hands after
So
that.
let's tie this together. And Cash, I'm gonna bring you back on this one because Bump, you just said something, that made sense to me, right? Okay. In a way, jumped out there and said American fighters don't like to get punched in the face, this and that. New York City, forget about Washington, D.C. New York City is the capital of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Shu Shu steps out there and say, yeah, I heard somebody say Americans, don't like to fight. Americans are scared. Well, I ain't scared. Here you go. I'm right here. Now, this is where we got to bring it back to Cash's point. We need a strap on the line.
Facts.
So whether it's that former champion in Ramirez and then the brother that beat Ramirez, we get Shu Shu a strap. Then we say, in a way, we want that work. And I think we got something. We got a dinner. We got dinner, ladies and gentlemen. I think so. Cash, what you
we
think?
Talking that. We talking like Rafael Espinoza, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Let them get that. Now, we always have the promotional side of the street bullshit. You know what I mean? Top Rank plays nice with Oscar a little bit and plays nice with Eddie, but they don't really play too nice with PBC. But every so often they do. But if we're talking straps, we got, because he right now I'm looking at he's eighth in the WBO, so maybe he's gonna stay in that route. I don't see him ranked anywhere else as of yet. I might have to update this, but if you're climbing them ranks, maybe like I said, a Rubisi Ramirez, maybe a Cool Boy. I know Cool Boy's on the PBC side of things, and you heard, but I like that. Get a strap, and then then it makes the fight that much more appealing.
But remember what's happening on the other side of the street, ladies and gentlemen. Gentrification.
Yeah.
They don't got no network. So Cool Boy, remember, Cool Boy,
like you say,
was looking to be active, but then he complaining they ain't got nothing for him. He too good to fight in the 2300 arena, right? So now, okay, well, why don't you walk over to Top Rank and see what they got for you, champ? You know what I'm saying? And I think that if he wants to be on a main stage because he's too good for a smaller venue, Top Rank can offer him hey man, move up a division. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was having trouble making 122 and fighting anyway. Who knows? But step up and fight Shu Shu, and we can get you on Friday or Saturday night on ESPN.
You think he's ready for you think that's I know they said that he needs to step up in competition, and I agree, and I think he's ready. Is that shooting too high? Maybe a Dog Bay, or maybe Ruben Villa, something like that. And then maybe they're gonna walk him through this slowly, or you think they want to fast track him?
I mean, look at what Top Rank's been doing with Pride. Yeah, I'm with the fast track. I mean, look at where Keyshawn is. We'll get to that in a minute, but we're talking about this is a different era. And, granted, maybe we don't have time for, 20, 25 fights in, and then we start. I mean, if a guy is this season and they've been, sharpened against, a pretty tough peer group, then that's why I'm saying right now we kind of need those former champions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because especially the way the landscape is, they got to fight the former champions to really see which of those are willing to rise to the top. Because the cats that's not fighting the former champions, what is he going to do? He's inactive.
Yeah.
So if Cool Boy is not ready, then he will remain inactive.
Yeah.
Keyshawn is remaining active because he's ready to, you know what I'm saying? And I give him so much credit for that. And I hear Albright fight, but as far as what is out there for Shu Shu, I think he's ready for a former champion. Dogbo's a good one, Anybody, any former champion, I think now's the time.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, you want to close this out?
Dogbo's a beast. I fear for him in that fight right there. I don't know if he's that seasoned. I mean, that's the test that he needs, though, to find out if you're ready for it. I
think Shu is special, though. Like
4 fights.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I don't know if I want Dog Bay next, though. That's a rough ask. But so give him the Lomachenko treatment. I agree with what you're saying, King Ahmed. Give him that Lomachenko treatment. Fast track. Oh, you lost to him?
So they did fast track Loma like a motherfucker.
Yeah, here's your second fight. You can get this world champion. I think you can beat him. Oh, there you go. You got a strap. Do him like that.
And Bump, real quick, I think we've seen that there are fighters, one in particular, over at Top Rank that let his nuts drag. That's my man, Jihad Tucker. He stays stepping it up in competition. Top 10, top 5, rank this, rank that.
Facts.
And he shook off that lesson, and he's right back at it. So when you say, are these guys respectfully? Some would say Jared Anderson need to motherfucking either jump out the window or get on the fucking elevator.
I agree. I agree 100%.
So
I agree.
You know?
Yo, real quick, I'm sitting there the other night, and I'm like, yo, this is a nice young crop we had, man. You know, cause like Danny, they had like Danny Garcia and them, and Earl and Keith. You know, they were the young. They the ones that kind of took off after Shane and De La Hoya and them. And then you had, you know, the 4 Kings or the 5 Kings with T.O., Shakur, Dev. You know, we know who the names are, right? Mm-hmm. And now this new crop coming up. You know, we didn't mention Tiger Johnson. I didn't get to see his shit the other night because I kind of got there late. Khalil Cole, we bumped into.
Absolutely.
Keyshawn, Abdullah Mason, Bruce Carrington. Yo, we got a nice sophomore class coming up, man. So it's very exciting and shit. But as far as Bruce, yeah, you got the city, man, and he's a good dude. We bumped into him after the show, coming up the stairs. He showed love, signed my glove and shit. So shout out to Bruce, Brooklyn, where Brooklyn at, you know what I'm saying? Real talk.